Hey people, welcome to the channel, and yes, Starfield Direct Showcase. Man, it was awesome. So if you haven't seen it and you want a short version of it, I'm super hyped about it. It's September the 6th, I think it's coming out, and I'm even more excited than I was before. I always have faith in Bethesda. People will bring out Fallout 76, but you know what? For those of us that have been playing Fallout since Fallout 1, 2, right? We know that Bethesda is also the ones that did Skyrim. They're the ones that did Fallout. So they're a company that are capable of great things. And in many ways, actually, this guy screwed up with Fallout 76 so much, he couldn't afford another bomb. He could not afford to mess up yet again. And I think they've done it. I think they have a great IP with Starfield. I'm certain of it. You have 1,000 planets, which of course some of these will be a little bit more empty for resources and so on, which is expected. You wouldn't expect to have 1,000 full vibrant planets with cities, and right, we all get that. But the ability of getting lost in the game. One of the things that I really miss in a game like Star Citizen, for example, is that the idea of exploring is really non-existent. You have 4 planets, there's a city in each one, a couple moons, and that's kind of it. You really don't go exploring a whole lot. Now, in this case, with 1,000 planets, yes, that's the case. Now, one of the nice things that I can definitely see here is that they took the best from some of the more recognizable space games out there. There's a little bit of Star Citizen here. There's a little bit of No Man's Sky with some of these beasts and nature and animals and flora, fauna. A lot of No Man's Sky there. But unlike No Man's Sky, where it's so big and so huge and so much of kind of always the same, they said in a very wise move, you know what? We'll scale it down just a little bit. 1,000 planets is still a heck of a lot for you to go exploring and really get lost in, which you cannot do that in Star Citizen, and you can't do it in No Man's Sky. But what's the point when it's always kind of like the same weird thing with little variations here and there? No, they took 1,000 planets or a little bit more than that and then tailored them a little bit. There's still the way in which they got these like patches and generated the surfaces, but customizing it a little bit. That is exactly what I would have done myself. I would have done the exact same thing. You don't limit yourself to just one planet. You go with 1,000 planets and you tailor them a little bit here and there, and you have this patchwork so as to be more realistic. And it looks awesome. It looks fantastic. The beasts do look a little bit Fallout-esque combined with No Man's Sky-esque, if that's a thing. But I'm all for it. And the missions, the stories, the random encounters, the mining stuff they borrowed from, Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, the idea of you going out there and mining resources and building your stations, well, that's definitely something you don't have in Star Citizen, and yet you have it here. The shooting was improved a lot, and the guns, my God, they have a bunch of very different guns, like from different manufacturers, different styles. I was a little bit worried that this was going to be another pipe gun incident, like with Fallout, in which it was all like kind of like the same, not enough different aesthetics or mechanics. No, you have different guns that work in different ways. For example, when there's no gravity, using projectiles, it actually pushes you back, and it hasn't got the same effect when you're using laser weapons. The food, this is what I love about Bethesda, the ability of picking up everything that is out there. That is so cool, so awesome. So, lots of different guns, lots of different styles of guns, as you see here. Look at that thing. And you see the amount of money, you see the amount of time, the amount of care that went into all of this. All of this is, in so many ways, what I don't have at all in Star Citizen. You don't have a story. Here, you have the story. You have the ships. Also, the ships are a lot better than what I thought they were. I thought they were going to be like all of... When I heard this NASA steampunk thing. I thought, damn, it's going to be these huge ass ships that are slow and boring. No, it turns out you can actually customize them to a great degree. You can actually buy ships that are already done, and they have different styles. You can actually steal ships from pirates. You can board pirates and take their ships and sell them. So there's so much you can do here. It's so much potential, really. And there's a lot of meat. There's a lot of content to sink your teeth in, because someone actually thought of all of this. Someone actually thought of giving you stories, giving you things to do. There's not just a skeleton. There's not just a structure like a game mechanic with emptiness. No, there's for example, you can get your crew. You can get people hired that you find across the story and your travels, and you send them to your outposts. You send them to your different homes, to your ship as part of your crew, and you have this relationship, and it apparently affects in which you have other missions because of these characters that you bring along. I even heard like they said like thinking about the things they borrowed. If you go cargo hauling, Todd Howard actually said cargo hauling. That is straight out of Star Citizen, and I love that. I love that they took the best out of all of these games that have their flaws. And if there's one game that has so many potentials and yet so many flaws, that would be exactly Star Citizen. Well, the guy took from all of those and make it his own, and that is just great. Yeah, I'm all for going cargo hauling in 1,000 planets and mining resources and having actual cities with actual people to interact and actual crew in my ship. That is great. One of the guys in the community of Star Citizen was saying, "Oh, but it's not multiplayer." Who gives a damn? Skyrim was not multiplayer, and you played that thing for decades, man. And multiplayer for what? You go play something else if enjoying playing with others is something. My experience is that, for example, in Star Citizen, other people that I come across, usually it's more about trying to not get shot, and you going out of your way to shoot other players. I guess some people like that. Personally, it's not really my thing. I mean, if I have to do it, it's gonna be more about them not killing me, which I learned the hard way, not to let anyone get too close. But I want to go and enjoy the story that actually someone got off his ass and actually bothered to write. This is the same thing. It's the exact same thing that failed with Fallout 76. Oh, you be your own character. You go and do your own trade with real people. You won't have any NPCs. It's gonna be all real people. Bullshit. That is crap. You want those NPCs. You want those NPCs that have actually been developed and they feel like something you're actually interacting with. The bartender actually feels like a bartender. I don't want to find some guy there as just looking to go PvP with someone else, or just go do things that have nothing to do with the elements of a true RPG. And that's what I want in a game where you're supposed to go exploring. Goddamn, yeah, you do want role-playing elements in a game in which you're supposedly exploring the universe. If you're gonna be only fighting against other guys, you don't even need any of this. You don't need 1,000 planets or 100 or 10 planets. Just shoot one another in whatever bullshit thing you came up with in Jumptown or whatnot, and that's it. But here you have these guys, you have the characters, you have the stories, right? You have a story guiding you, and at any moment you go on your own way. You start doing your mining, your base building, your resources. You start doing your thing, but you can always go back to random encounters, finding things to do, finding cool things to do, and you always have that main story, that main, the foundation of what you're even there for. Without that, it's kind of a waste of time. It looks pretty nice. It looks very nice. A little bit plasticky, let's be honest. A little bit plasticky, some of the faces when close-ups and so on. But the animals, this is one of the things I really would like to have in Star Citizen. Actually have creatures, go hunting, kill a few things, That's, yeah. Anyway, and the ships in which you can change them, change so many elements, the colors and all of that stuff. No, it's definitely so, and man, it goes on and on. It has a lot of potential. We'll see how buggy or not buggy it is, but I'm not afraid of a couple bugs. Man, I played Star Citizen. Bugs are what I eat for lunch every single time I log into that mess. So it's just ironic. People, oh, but it's going to be buggy. Really? Really? You're worried about bugs? Okay. No, not at all. I think it's going to be great. And yeah. I would be very surprised if it doesn't live up to at least some of the expectations. I mean, some things could obviously not work as well as you wish, but man, look at this thing. It just looks great. Fantastic. Anyway, that's going to be all for now. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to read that and answer if you have any questions or comments to share here with the rest of us. Take care. See you on the next video.